Hello and welcome to the second part of my build series of the Tamiya TT-02 Lancia Delta Integrale. In this video I'll be covering the metal parts bag B, which is steps 17 to 25. So starting with step 17 is the front uprights. So fairly easy job here. We've got part A1 and we need a BB3 metal bearing to clip inside there, he says. Pushes in fairly easily. And then we need C3, which is the wheel hub, and that slides in there. Now it doesn't say in the manual, and it probably won't be long before I don't need to, but I've got two spare R clips here that I tend to push through just to stop anything falling out until I'm ready to mount it properly. So that's the first one, and here goes the second one. And there we go, that's step 17 complete. Step 18, attaching the front uprights to the chassis along with the little dog bone dry shafts. So we are going to need 4 of your M3 10mm hex screws, which I've not seen on a Tamiya kit before myself, and the drive cups from the differential. We've got an A6, a C2 and an A8. So let's get started. We'll lift that out of the way, we'll move these out of the way so we can get a clearer shot, hopefully. The output cups just slot straight in, and then I think we'll do the lower side first. So we take A8 and slide it in like so. That then slides into there and should hold enough, hopefully. And A10 as a spacer stroke washer. Oops. And then we need to lift it all up and spin it around so we can hopefully get through that. Yes, I think we're in. First of all, we need some grease on the dog bone. And we can drop this upper wishbone over the top like so, and then according to this we pop this holder on there. That's the A6, and screw it all together. And that completes step 18. We'll move swiftly on to step 19. Right, before moving on to step 19, I've just noticed these notes telling you to go to page 18 if you want the ride height different, and that's for steps 18, 19 and 20. So if we have a quick look at this, we've got the ground clearance. So at the front, if you want the higher ground clearance, you basically swap A8, A10 and A6 round. So A6 goes on the bottom and A8 and A10 go on the top. And for step 19 and 20, to get the different ride height, you either mount A11 one way or the other. So we'll get back to step 19 and I'll do it with the higher ground clearance. Right, step 19 is rear uprights. So same as the front ones really. And there we go. So let's move on to 20. Step 20 is installing the rear uprights. So we'll take one of these 3 22mm screw pins first of all, and we'll slide it through the bottom here and get it in place. Slowly tighten it up. The upper wishbone, slide the bar in. We're now going to move on to step 21, the supposed shock absorber installs. Step 21, damper build. As you can probably see, these aren't brilliant. I've already made 3 of them ready, so I'll just nip through the last one. You take the body and the mount, and as you can see, they just goes round until it clicks into place. I'm not sure if you can see, but there's a hole there. You then take this retaining clip and poke it through. Then the spacer goes on, and then the spring, and then this supposed damper slides in there, and you do a half turn. No, I think I've missed it. No. There we go, quarter turn, and that's the shock built. So I hope you can understand why I'm also going to build now some of these uprated CVA shocks. Loads better. So I've got all the parts here, and it kindly comes with a set of instructions if you don't know how to do these, so let's give it a crack. First off, the tricky bits. We've got the piston rod. I've lost all my bits. Oh, there they are. And you get some E-clips put on. I always lick my finger to pick these up, it's far easier than anything else. And there's 2 grooves, one for each of these E-clips, and you have to very carefully snap it in place, check that it moves. And then you've got the damper piston. According to the instructions, it tells you to put the one with 1 hole in, so I'm going to go with that as a starting point. And then the second E-clip, which can be a bit trickier to get on. So it's just about in position. I'll try and use my nail to push it on a bit to keep it in place, because my pliers are magnetic. And again, clip it in place and check it, And that's the piston and piston rod. When you come to the piston body, you've got two O-rings that go in the end there, and then a dab of the damper oil to give it a bit of lubrication, and then, whoops, nearly forgot, you put the cap on loosely and push the damper through, and then you can tighten it up. Then you fill the damper with the oil. In this case it's the yellow Tamiya oil, which I believe is the next to the last softest they sell, and you fill it up. And then you need to move the piston up and down to get rid of any air that's been trapped below it quite a few times. And I'm not sure if you can see, but you might see some really tiny air bubbles. So once you've done this a few times, you should then leave it. I'll give it a flick as well, just to get rid of the bigger ones, and then you should leave it to let all that air escape. So we'll come back once it's all gone. Right, so once all the air bubbles are gone, give it a bit of a top up. And then we put the rubber silicone seal over the top and press it down. And fortunately not too much is overflown, so I'll leave that. And you can then screw the cap on. We then get the lower ball joint, and fortunately these are already threaded, which I've not had before in a Tamiya kit. So you just screw it on, and because I'm just doing it finger tight. And what I've found with doing the other three is, to get any spring preload on these springs at all, I'm having to use all three of these spring tensioners. So put two on, put the spring on, spring holder, and as you can see, even with the two smaller ones, there's still a massive gap. So we then put the bigger one on, which just clamps it in between without putting too much pressure on the spring, and that's the shock absorber done. So those will be going on after my first run and a few tests to compare to see what the difference is. And after that we move on to step 22, and so on to step 22, attaching the front springs to the chassis. As you can probably see here, it's telling you which holes to install them in. So we've got 4 M3 14mm step screws to screw into them. So let's get on with it. Oops, I dropped it. And that's step 22. Step 23 is the same for the rear shocks. And again, that completes step 23. Look at that lovely damping. Step 24. This is the steering linkage. A couple of things before we start. There's a note on the side pointing out the orientation of A3, so you don't get that wrong. And then these plastic ball joints, I've gone round and taken off the bits of the mould tree that were left after cutting it off. So let's crack on. You need some pliers for this first stage. So you drop in like that, and then you get your pliers and you just click. And there. And that completes step 24. Right, the last step of bag B is step 25, adding the steering arms. I've already done the first one for you, so you don't have to suffer watching me screw bits of screws into plastics. And that's the steering arms installed. So there was one more thing, which was to install this bit of foam here, which will go where the servo saver is to prevent dust and grime getting trapped in between. So that completes part 2 of my build with parts bag B. Look forward to seeing you when I do parts bag C. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.